Hey eBayers, it's Suzanne, and it is time to conquer some more eBay fears. This is a common one I hear, is that people are scared to ship breakables. And this is really something that's easy to overcome. It's just a matter of knowledge is power. So this is really geared more for the beginner that hasn't shipped very much, or maybe you're just sticking with items that don't break because you're a little freaked out about what could happen if somebody gets a broken item and how to even do this process. So I understand that a lot of people starting on eBay don't have any experience shipping anything, and for a lot of you it's your first attempt at a home business. So you just don't know this stuff. So anything can be learned. So this one, we are going to talk about shipping breakables and how to get started doing that if you have not delved into that area yet. So just shipping breakables doesn't have to be scary. It's just a matter of thinking through the process and getting the right information to ship the specific item. If you need help, if you don't know how to do it, having the resources to turn to figure it out, because everything is figure outable. You're going to come across a lot of profitable items that are breakable. So if you are leaving them behind because you're scared of shipping them, you are leaving money on the table. And if you want to grow your eBay business and maximize your profit, shipping some breakables is going to be necessary. So let's break this down into manageable steps so you can ease into shipping breakables without any fear. So the first thing is you want to start with small items. The most common item that eBay sellers sell that's breakable is a coffee mug. And by the way, this vintage Apple Macintosh computer logo mug is a BOLO, stands for Be on the Lookout. This mug sells for about $75. Just a little tip here, a little side tip. Anything with the Apple logo that is vintage is going to sell for a lot of money because it's collectible. So when you see this on t-shirts or coffee mugs or hats or little promotional items, look it up because you can get good money for these. I sold a t-shirt one time that was some kind of 10-year anniversary or something like that. Only the Apple employees got them, and I bought it for $2 and it sold for $50 and went to Canada. So be on the lookout for Apple logo stuff. Okay, I always get sidetracked on what to sell, so I'm trying to stick to the program here. Active listings for coffee mugs, just to show you how many are out there and how common of a thing this is to sell. There are 310,000 results for listings with the word coffee mugs in the title. Active listings. Sold listings are 22,000. So they're not selling through at a great rate, but if you know which ones to pick and focus on the profitable ones, then you're going to come out ahead. But just showing you here that it's a very common thing, so this is a good place to start with learning how to ship these if you are a little hesitant to ship breakable items. Now, there are a lot of videos on YouTube about shipping coffee mugs, and I just want to say that I'm all about doing things the right way, the correct way, the professional way. And a lot of these videos are all about how to do it the cheapest way. And I'm just not a big fan of that. If it compromises your item, that's the bottom line, is what is the buyer going to think when they get it? And is it going to make it to the buyer without becoming damaged? So that should be your concern, is getting it to the buyer without it breaking. Because sure, you can put insurance on it and you can file a claim with the post office and you can get your money back. I've done it a few times and it's no problem. But what you don't want to happen is you don't want that buyer to open the item and it be broken and then be disappointed because they really wanted it. They wanted that collectible mug. They wanted that sorority mug to give to their daughter for Christmas, or that funny mug to give to their brother for his birthday or whatever it is, and they don't want it to be broken. So that's what you should be thinking about, is getting it there intact, in great condition, so that your buyer's going to be happy and the transaction's going to end well and you're going to get good feedback, and you can just do that again and again. So I just don't advocate putting breakable items of any kind in the padded flat rate mailer. You're going to see a lot of that on YouTube when you look up how to ship a coffee mug. And if that's how somebody wants to run their business, that's totally fine. I just am not a fan of that process, just because if the buyer gets it and they're like, wow, this seller just kind of took some shortcuts here, and yeah, they saved me some money on shipping, but what's the buyer going to think about it? And I'm sure thousands of mugs have been shipped this way with no problem, but for me in my business and what I teach other eBayers is to do it the professional looking way, the correct way, where it's going to get there safely. So USPS makes boxes that fit mugs perfectly. They are free. You just go on to USPS.com. You can order them. They're delivered to your door. Perfect. So these are what I use to ship mugs, are these priority mail boxes. Now, here is how I package mugs to ship them. Obviously, you're going to wrap it in bubble wrap, but first you want to cover the handle with some cardboard. And you can either use stretch wrap, which is that stuff that comes on a roll. It looks like saran wrap, and you'll see in retail they use it a lot to bundle things together. At thrift stores they use it to strap things together. It's called stretch wrap, or just a rubber band, just to secure that cardboard to the mug so that it cushions the handle a little bit more. I don't advocate taping it to the mug, because when the buyer removes that tape, it may take some of the design off the mug, the paint, the logo, whatever's on there, and then that's going to be a problem. And you might get bad feedback because, oh, the seller taped up the mug and while it arrived intact, removing the tape was a problem. So this is, yes, a very minor detail, but trust me, if it can happen to somebody on eBay, it's happened to me. So that's why I do these videos, is to save you the grief that has happened to me. So again, the size box that you need is the 7x7x6. So when you go on USPS.com, that's what you're going to order. Okay, so here is your box ready to go. Now what I do is I line the box with egg cartons. And yes, I just said we want to do things professionally, but this works, and most people have egg cartons. If you start saving them on purpose, you will find all kind of uses for them in your eBay business as cushioning material. They're not dirty. Obviously, I'm not using egg cartons that people have put, that I have put dirty shells in. They're going to be the clean ones. But they just do wonders for packing, and I hate packing peanuts because they're bad for the environment. They get everywhere. They're usually a one-use thing. You buy them, use them, and then the buyer's going to throw it away. And this is recyclable, so I try to keep that kind of stuff in mind. Plus, everybody buys eggs, pretty much everybody. And so if you just start saving these, this is free packing material. So check out my video above about using egg cartons for packing material. So I create like a little nest where it's got a space in the middle for the mug to go. And so you just stick it in there with the handle towards the middle, so it's going to be cushioned. Mugs are different sizes, so you kind of have to finagle the packing material around it. Of course, you can use anything else. You can use crumpled up newspaper. You can use plastic grocery bags, balled up and wadded up. You can use packing peanuts. You can use all kind of different packing material. The idea here is to line the edges with your packing material and create a space in the middle of the box so that the breakable item is protected. And then you Put one more piece of egg carton on top of that, make a little hat for him, and tape up the box, and that's it. The next thing you always want to do when shipping breakables is shake the box. Once you have it taped up, you should not hear anything moving. It should be completely solid. That's what you want. If you hear rattling and shaking around, then you need to open it up and put some more packing material in there. Maybe if you're new to this, don't tape it closed. Just close the top, shake it around. Do you hear anything? Is anything moving? If so, put some more packing material in there, and that will pretty much guarantee that the item's not going to break if you don't hear it moving. So that method works for any small breakable item. So if you're new to shipping breakables, just start with small things, and then you're going to work your way up to bigger items. And I'm going to do some more videos in this series to explain how to package commonly sold items. But just do small things. So shot glasses, some of those can sell for good money. Salt and pepper shakers, those are highly collectible. I thought these were cute with I'm Salt and I'm Pepe Le Pew. You'd be amazed at what people will pay for salt and pepper shakers. And then small picture frames, people buy those. Any kind of figurines, ceramic, porcelain figurines of animals or whatever, those are pretty easy to ship. Ashtrays, those are a hot item, and those are really easy to ship. Now, trinket boxes, but here is a note on those. If the item has a lid or multiple pieces, wrap them separately in a box. In the box. You don't want to just like take this item with the lid on it and then just wrap your bubble wrap around it, because the lid can shift around and move in the shipping and could crack and break, or the bottom could crack and break as it bangs together. So you want to separate the pieces, wrap them separately, and then put them in the box so that they don't bump together. So like in this picture, this guy has got several things he's putting in there, so you want to wrap each one separately. I have had things break when I did not do that. So some of this may seem like common sense, but if you've never done this before, you don't know to think through these details. And everybody knows different things. I see a lot of the beginners out there thinking that feeling bad that they don't know this. Well, you haven't had a reason to know this. How would you know this if you hadn't had a business where you were shipping things? So as long as you're willing to learn, you can ship anything. So, just as you're learning, you just constantly are going to progress into bigger and more complicated items if you want to ship them. Now, I've said many times, I just don't like shipping really fragile items. It's just not fun. I don't like packaging them. I don't want to ship a chandelier. I don't want to ship a 16-piece dinnerware set. I just don't want to do that. That's not the way I want to spend my time. In fact, when I do find dishes or multiples of mugs, I usually do a quantity listing. So I may have like 4 plates, but it's not the set. They're separate, because what happens is people might break one and they don't want 4 more. They just want 1. So I have found that things like that sell better if you just list as a quantity and then let the buyers, say how many they want. Sometimes they'll buy all 4 or however many you have, but a lot of times if they're replacing something that's broken, then they just want 1, and I have no problem shipping 1 plate or 1 mug. I just don't want to ship an entire 16-piece set of Baccarat crystal. I don't want to do that. So the most important thing here is to think through how you're going to ship the item before you list it. You don't have to actually package it up, but if you don't know how you're going to list, how you're going to ship a Tiffany lamp, or something that has a bunch of parts, or a set of Christmas ornaments, or things like that, you want to think about that before you list it, and at least have a rough plan of what you're going to do, because items can sell quickly. And if somebody has an alert on the item and it sells an hour after you list it, you don't want to be freaked out and stressed out about having the right materials and the right boxes, and do I have the packing material, do I have the bubble wrap, do I have the newspaper, whatever you're going to use. You don't have to figure that out when the item sells. You want to be ready when you list it so that if it sells quickly, you are prepared. And I say that because this has happened to me. I've listed something and I did not have the right things on hand. And the next morning you wake up, you're ready to ship it, and you've got a sick kid, and your whole day is about taking the kid to the doctor and going to the pharmacy and all the stuff you have to do and taking care of your child, and you can't go running to Walmart to get the packing material you need to get your item packed up and shipped. So just be prepared. Think through this before you list it, because like I said, if it can happen to a seller, it's happened to me. And it's kind of a stressful thing when you've got something that you've sold and you don't have the right materials on hand to ship it, and you're stuck. Or even better, you've got this stuff to ship and then all of a sudden there's an ice storm coming and you can't even get out to get what you need to ship it. And so I guess you get the point there. Just be prepared. Now, if you don't know how to ship something, go to YouTube. There are thousands of videos about how to ship very specific items. And you want to watch the ones that are done by reputable people. So like I put in how to ship a set of dishes. There are 15,000 results on YouTube with videos. And a lot of these are done by shipping companies, like UPS has some videos, Mailboxes, etc. has videos, the postal store, eBay sellers that do it the right way, moving companies, lots of great information about how to ship anything. And some of these are in great detail, how to ship a chandelier, how to ship musical instruments that have multiple parts, how to ship sets of Christmas ornaments, all kinds of stuff. So everything you need is there. It just takes a little time to find what you're looking for, and watch different ones and compare the processes until you get good at it. Because if you ask 20 different sellers how to do something, you're going to get 20 different answers. And the key to this is finding what works for you and what's it going to take to get the item to the customer intact and in great condition at a reasonable price. It's not always about doing it the cheapest way. I just really hate to see these videos about how much can you stuff in a padded flat rate mailer, how much can you stuff in a flat rate box. I just don't like that, because these things do explode. They burst open. I've received items where the package has burst open, and you just don't want to upset your buyer. You want them to be happy. You want them to open the item. It's there. It's intact. The packaging looks good. You did it right. You get good feedback. And, this is a reflection of you as a seller. So you want to do it the right way. So there will be more of these coming, more of these videos about shipping breakables, but the first one I wanted to go over was the whole coffee mug thing, and just encouraging you to ship smaller items. eBay is an evolution. If you're building your business, you want to start off small and easy and just build on that. And it takes time to get the confidence to ship certain kinds of things. Trust me, I've been there. I just, when I think about shipping a cookie jar or something really big and breakable like a punch bowl, something like that, I just don't want to, because I don't like it. But there's money to be made in those things. And some people are just, shipping ninjas. They just love it, and it's a challenge to get the item packaged and to the customer and intact without it breaking. I've got some videos coming about how to file claims when things do break and how to handle that and the process to go through. So it will happen. Things will break. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when and how to handle it professionally. So Love your comments on this, and if you are a little bit hesitant to ship breakable things, just start with small items and build from there. Thanks for watching. Bye.